Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is Friday the 13th. Now, I'm not going to discuss that whole Friday the 13th thing because, it's immaterial here. I do want to talk about, however, the first two abortion laws passed by the great, grand, and glorious House of Representatives, which we are now in our group terming the hashtag House of Horrors. So both of them that I'm going to talk about today are related to abortion. And we're going to talk about just how this particular group of cretins that now inhabit the Republican Party is wasting your taxpayer dollars. So the first bill is a bill that basically legislates something that's already been done. It basically says you can't use government money for an abortion. That was passed in 1976. It's called the Hyde Amendment. It's still in place today. And apparently it's going nowhere because Joe Biden has reversed his stance on the Hyde Amendment since way back in the day and has tried to defund that several times in the appropriations bill. That's where it initially was passed, in the appropriations bill of 1976. And it's named after Henry Hyde, the Republican who proposed that legislation. And Biden has tried mightily to defund that and get rid of that. And he can't seem to get it done because, as I have said, we don't have a Democratic Party majority big enough to get past the Republican legislatures. So this is going to be my message. 52% will not do. We cannot vote at 52% of registered Democratic Party voters in 2024. It will be the death knell for democracy in this country. Keep that in mind. That is the first wasted taxpayer dollar event. They're, jumping up and down, pandering to the worst people in their baseless base. It's a done deal. It's already been done. Done before, done. D-O-N-E, done. The second one they passed is this legislation that states that if a child happens to be born alive during an abortion procedure, that he or she will receive the same medical care that any other child would. That is called partial birth abortion. That was outlawed in 2007. People, the Republican Party is all about control of your rights, control of women's rights in particular. And neither of these bills, Chuck Schumer has said, is going to live through the Senate. He called them absurd, and they are absurd. It is basically weaponizing the government, which is, ironically, one of the committees they have to investigate the government, that it has been weaponized. It has indeed been weaponized by them, okay? The Democrats, are not investigating the Republican Party. Donald Trump is being investigated by the Department of Justice. Okay, they are doing their job. Okay, the only people who have weaponized the government is the right wing. The right wing literally stacked the court, the Supreme Court, in order to make sure that every single ideological pack of crap that they can offer up is codified under judicial law. They are literally legalizing fascism in the United States. And they are the weaponization arm of our government. So it's clear to me that what we have here is a continual assault on women's rights. Now, on a state level, it's going on as well. Let's talk about the great state of Missouri. Yeah, where it seems that in their legislature, they are proposing the clothing that women can wear to their jobs. And I mean women who serve in the legislature. They're going to have a dress code for women in Missouri. And make no mistake about this, some of the stuff is being proposed by women, right-wing women. I'd like to make sure that people understand here in America, Just like calling us the United States is a joke, we are not the United States. Many of the people, not all, but many, below the Mason-Dixon line still really believe that the Confederates won. They have never gotten over the fact that they lost. We are not a United States. We are a country of 337 million people. There are segments who think alike, but there are many segments who do not think alike. So to call us the United States is absurd. Particularly, look at it right now, because you know something? The Republican Party and their minions and the right wing have amplified the divide on an incredibly hateful level. This cannot be denied. But to start proposing what women can and cannot wear as they serve the public is patently absurd. I had to wear a uniform in Catholic school, okay? I was a kid. These are adults. I'm pretty sure they know how to dress themselves in the morning for work. This is nothing more than right-wing women who pander to men because they truly do believe that women are second-class citizens. Now, if that's the way they want to think and conduct their lives, that's their business. But some of us don't ascribe to that bullshit, and we never will. I'm going to talk to you again. I have mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again to you. There's this thing out there called the manosphere. And the manosphere, and there is also a male supremacy, a bunch of male supremacy groups out there. We have them on our website, www.factivistproject.org. We are going to be going through a huge update of that website. But right now, if you go to the tab that says the war on women, you can read about the manosphere and what it's all about. You can read about incels and what that's all about. Among many right-wing men, there is an incredible hatred for women here. And there are right-wing men out there who don't believe women should even have the vote. I warn you of all of this now, because the abortion issue is just the tip of the iceberg in this country. And people, women especially, need to get this. And there are women in the Republican Party who do not think like the women in Missouri do, okay? And the women in the Republican Party need to band together with the women in the Democratic Party and fight this bullshit. This is about your very right to have any say anywhere in this country. This is a scary, slippery slope we are treading down here. And, you know, they are intent on making sure women know their place. This is where we're going. We're heading towards authoritarian rule here. And I understand that we did better in the midterms than we ever expected to when we started. But it is not anywhere near good enough, because all of those people are up for re-election again in 2024. And if they maintain the House, they have a very slim lead. We can take the House back. And then if they do maintain it because not enough Democratic voters vote, and they take the Senate, it is game, set, and match here. I am not being overly dramatic. I cannot emphasize this enough. This country's future for women depends upon you voting. You have children, grandchildren, daughters who need support. We all need to band together, and we all need to get this done. So as I have said, our website has a lot of information out there about the oppression of women. It is going to be updated for the 2024 midterm cycle, but the information out there right now is quite accurate, and it will be expanded when I do the update. So please go take a look. And ladies, come on, let's get it together here. And you know what? Not just ladies, but men who have wives, mothers, daughters, granddaughters. You all need to come out. We all need to get this done. This is about saving democracy. And you may have other issues you're worried about. None of those will get solved under a fascist government. None of them. I'll talk to you all later.